If you're not marinating your cheese, what are you doing? My mom used to make this, and I brought it back a couple years ago for a video, and it went viral. So ever since then, I've been making different flavor combinations for marinated cheese, and each one keeps getting better and better. So I'm here to show you 5 of the best marinated cheese recipes. This is the kind of thing that doubles as girl dinner for me at night. And I'm gonna start with the classic, the 80s original, the OG. When my mom first did this, it kind of like gave me mixed feelings. I was like, well, this is a little bit weird. And she's like, just trust. So for this one, I'm just simply using a sharp cheddar cheese and cream cheese. And you'll see how I line it up. It also makes for a great presentation. So you start by just taking your block of cheddar cheese and then just make little slices. And with all these, it's really like a formula. You select whatever cheeses you like, usually like 2 to 3 different flavors, and then a marinade. And then you just put the two together. So before you cut the cream cheese, it makes it a lot easier if you freeze this for at least like 30 minutes. And it just makes it easier to cut. Put it in between the cheddar cheese, and then you just keep going. And then you layer it into a shallow dish. You want to marinate your cheese in whatever you want to serve it into. So I like to choose something, you know, presentable. And then you're just going to start building little rows of stacked cheeses. Whatever I do on one row, like this one I started with cream cheese in the back, so then on the next row, I'll start with cheddar first. And then you want at least like 3 or 4 rows. And now we make the marinade. Okay, so for this one, it's just like a simple vinaigrette, but it does have like some fresh components. So I'm gonna chop up some parsley and green onions, and you wanna mince these up. You want it like everything to be really small so that you get a little bit of everything in every bite. Okay, 3 cloves of garlic press so you don't get big old chunks in your mouth. And then a jar of pimentos. Okay, a teaspoon of sugar, some salt and pepper. I'm just gonna use a pinch of Italian seasoning. And then oil and vinegar, that's it. So this is a white wine vinegar, just a neutral vinegar. You could do a red wine vinegar here, or just a plain white vinegar. And a lot of vinaigrettes, you'll find that it's like 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. This one is like a half and half, so it's really tangy, and that's what I like with the cheese, because the cheese is really rich and creamy, and you want something to kind of cut through that. You just want it to kind of soak into the cheese. So while it's delicious to eat right now, I'll prove it, but it's gonna get better with age. So that's why it's good for a party. It's a complete make ahead. For me, it lasts like a week in the fridge. This is the perfect cracker for this cheese. Only thing missing right now is an ice cold glass of wine, but I'll save that for later. See, because you get the creamy, the crunchy. So good. I don't know why that works. It's just so good. For my whole life, my mom's go-to appetizer, if you go over to her house, she has out cheddar cheese with crackers and pickles. So next up, pickle marinated cheese. This one could be the best. Y'all are really just gonna have to make them all and tell me which one's the best, because I'm probably gonna say this about everyone, that they're all my favorite. I like the pickles that are like sweet and spicy for this, so this might be a regional thing, but if you can find these, not sponsored, you should get them. For the cheeses, I'm doing cheddar because that's what I grew up with, but I'm also doing just a creamy Havarti, and then the cream cheese to glue them together. So I'm not gonna slice the cream cheese for this one. I'm just going to use it as a glue for the other 2 cheeses. Tight squeeze, perfection. Now for the marinade. Take your pickles. We're gonna chop up about 2/3 of a cup. You want the pickle to be really pronounced in this. You want to get pickle in every bite. I swear I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she just eyeballs it to perfection. This, along with 3 tablespoons of green onion, and then fresh dill, because pickles. Then I'm going in with a tablespoon of ranch seasoning, because ranch and pickles are also a natural pair. And then I'm still going for that like half and half acid to fat ratio. So I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of pickle brine, and then a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Kind of has that sweetness that mimics those pickles. A 1/2 cup of olive oil. I'm using just a regular olive oil instead of extra virgin. And some crushed red pepper for some kick. Sweet and spicy is the theme here. Going right over. Okay, here goes pickle marinated cheese. You taste the ranch, you taste the dill, of course you taste the pickle. This is so good. This is the one that makes me want like the cold beer, you know? This is the kind of thing that doubles as girl dinner for me at night. This is Italian Salsa Verde Marinated Cheese. Changing things up a bit with this one, and we are marinating fresh mozzarella balls. However, this recipe can work. You could do it with like provolone cheese or mozzarella and layer it, but I thought we'd twist it up a little bit. Okay, so everything just gets mixed up in a food processor. We're just gonna keep it easy. I'm going in with some fresh mint, parsley, and green onions. What I love about this one is you get all the things. You get a lot of freshness, but then you get like some brininess because we're going in with capers, anchovies. Just a couple fillets, although you can adjust this to your liking, or you can leave them out altogether. And then 1 clove of garlic. I'm gonna give that a little rough chop too. And then all this just gets pulsed up until it's really finely chopped. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, and then I like to stir everything else in. You want about a teaspoon of lemon zest. You want about a 1/4 cup of the lemon juice, and then about a tablespoon of red wine vinegar, 2/3 cup extra virgin olive oil, crushed red pepper, and some salt, and pep. Look at that. You know that's gonna be good. All right, so now we can just put our cheese right in. I'm using these, the small little mozzarella balls. See, you can stop here for just the most flavorful mozzarella you've ever had, or you can go in with some cherry tomatoes. You can even add some olives at this point. And that way, if you wanna just serve like a bowl of this as an appetizer, you get like more than just cheese in your bite. So I'm gonna add in a few tomatoes, but this is just bonus. That kind of gives you that like caprese experience, but better, but better. Just wait till you have this. This can last for a while in the fridge. Keep it stored in a jar or a bowl, then you can pour out as needed. Taste test. You see that caper, the crushed red pepper, all the herbs. Oh my God. I was worried this wouldn't be exciting enough for y'all, but the burst of flavor that is happening, perfection. I told you they keep getting better and better. Breaking out the pepper jack for a little fiesta for the next one, a Mexican style marinated cheese. You know this one's like gonna be an explosion of flavor. Break out the margarita for this one. Same process, going back to the formula. It's gonna have like all the flavors that we love in like a guacamole or a pico. I'm doing a pepper jack and then just a sharp cheddar for color, and also that's typically what we put like on our tacos and stuff. And then the cream cheese again. So you can do either way. You can slice it frozen and just stack it, or you can just scoop off a little like I was doing earlier and just let it be the glue. Serving dish, you know the drill. Now for the good part. I'm going red onion for a pop of color. Finely dice your red onion so that it's like confetti. All right, and then 1 jalapeno. I'm gonna leave kind of the ribs in there. I'm okay with a little heat. Cilantro for my herb, obviously. I should have done a drink pairing with each one of these. Ranch water with this one would be so good. Lime juice, 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, and about 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Salt, and for this, a little chili powder. This is also going to be delicious, like drizzled over fish tacos, or to marinate chicken, or to serve over grilled chicken. You're really getting like a 2-for-1 special with these recipes. Over the cheese we go. This one is gonna be good. These are my cracker choices with this one. Baby tortilla round chips. I didn't have the round ones, so let's see. Perfect bite. Cheers. It's like marinated cheese as a nacho. Gosh, that is good. Y'all gotta make these. Please tell me you're gonna be making these. I cannot keep this to myself. 10 out of 10. I just can't not do it for this recipe. Ranch water. It's like a lightened margarita, you know? You see how this is gonna go so well with that cheese? I mean, it's for research purposes. Cheers. Yep, I was right. In case you were wondering, make this with that and thank me later. For my final trick, a little trip to the Mediterranean. This is my Mediterranean style marinated cheese. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, maybe it will. For this one, I'm using a dill Havarti. Dill is a very popular herb across a lot of Mediterranean cooking. And then I have written the recipe with cream cheese to glue just dill Havarti together. However, today I'm just feeling a little feisty. Since we have left over a creamy block of feta cheese, I'm gonna use this instead of the cream cheese. This one's kind of like, reminds you of like the ultimate Greek salad minus the lettuce. Serve that on a cracker or a crostini or a pita chip. Again, you can add more or less cheese depending on what size casserole dish you have. The better the feta, the creamier it's gonna be, and it will still act as a glue. It's okay if it gets crumbled up in there because when you go to eat this, you just want a little bit of everything. All right, all snug. For the marinade, I'm chopping up some Kalamata olives. You could just do black olives or green, whatever you like. And then some chopped sun-dried tomatoes that are in the marinade, and then some green onions. to the bowl. All right, 1 clove of garlic. I'm using red and white wine vinegar. You can do one or the other, or both. Like I said, it's like a Greek salad. This is like similar to how you would make a Greek salad dressing. EVOO. And then I like a little lemon pepper in here. Lemon and Greek flavors like go so well together, especially with feta. So I love that in here, and then a little dried oregano. Crushed red pepper. A little bit of sugar to balance this out, and a teaspoon. And then parsley. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. This is so much better than a cheese board. It's really easier than like putting on a charcuterie because it's like one thing you can make in advance. Just perfect for entertaining. All right, stir it up. Now, I know you can taste that. That is gorgeous. Perfect bite time. Oh yeah. A little feta, a little dill Havarti, and all that Greek salad goodness. Might have saved the best for last. Who knows? I'm in heaven, literal heaven right here. Quite possibly in the top 5 perfect bites of all time. It is so, like, I could eat that every single day. The only thing missing is the cold glass of wine. This is a lot too. This will last a long time and will feed a lot of people. Unless you're at my house, might only feed me. You get the brightness from the herbs and the fresh green onion and stuff, and then you get that brininess from the olives. The vinegar kind of cuts through the richness. Also the salty, briny feta. Mediterraneans, just do it right. You gotta make this one. If this doesn't look like a party, I don't know what does. Best thing is, you don't need a bunch of platters or a bunch of different appetizers to get the satisfaction that is in one of these dishes. I brought it back from the 80s. Forget the old cheese board. Marinated cheese is the appetizer of the year. Trust me. You'd think I'd be tired of it by now, but I'm not.